Hey guys, what is up? Reese here with a brand new shoe review. We're looking at a pair of shoes I actually got for Christmas. These are the Nike LeBron 11. This is a NIKEiD colorway that I created. The colors are orange blaze, court purple, black, and white. This is, I think, the 7th pair of shoes I've designed on NIKEiD, and especially the past couple years, whenever I design a pair, I kind of sit down with a clear theme in mind. You know, I'm going to create a pair based off of this, and then I go ahead and do that and kind of use that as my inspiration. But back when I first started designing NIKEiD shoes, I would basically sit down and be like, well, I like orange, let's make an orange shoe. And so I kind of got back to my roots in terms of NIKEiD creations this year. I basically just sat down and was like, you know what, I really like orange with purple, and I don't have any shoes that are orange and purple, so why don't I create something? And I think the LeBron 11 is a great shoe for that because it's got, I mean, as you can see, I think this colorway turned out really cool. Even if, you know, these aren't your colors, you can definitely see there's just some nice accents here, and I feel like it ties well together with the different design aspects of this shoe. I'm a huge fan of the LeBron 11 in general. The one thing I've always really liked about the LeBron line is just kind of some of the smaller details. You know, on this pair, it's everything from the really nice pattern and texture on the tongue to a cool pattern going on the swoosh, even down to the fact that the laces aren't just, you know, normal laces, they're special. And there's just a lot of little things that come together on this shoe. I like that it's a little bit lower too than the LeBron 10. I really like the pair of LeBron 10s that I have, but the collar is kind of weird because there's a dip in it, and so it's kind of weird to get it on foot, but these are really easy to slip on. They're extremely comfortable. I'm really glad I was able to pick them up. And because, you know, there are definitely some really cool colorways that have dropped with this shoe, and I'm excited to see what other releases come out in the next, you know, couple months. But I just wanted to sit down and be like, hey, you know, let's make something that's my own. And I've never done that with like a signature shoe before, like any of the LeBrons or anything on NIKEiD, so I just wanted to have some fun with it. And I'm really pleased. The build quality is exceptional. You know, for some reason I was really worried when I ordered a pair of NIKEiD shoes. You know, I'm like, oh man, what if they screw them up, you know, get the colors wrong or something. And I don't know why, because, you know, obviously if they would, I could get it corrected. But everything was spot on, exactly what I ordered. No glue stains anywhere. Everything turned out really nicely on these, and I'm really excited about that. The one thing that I'm not a huge fan of with NIKEiD is when you order them, you know, you get them in this very plain box. You know, there's nothing special about it. It says NIKEiD.com there. Mine actually came kind of dented up here on the corner. And it's just kind of a boring box, especially, you know, when you think of like the boxes the normal pair of LeBrons might come in. And because I just remember the first pair of NIKEiD shoes I did was back when I was in 7th grade. It was a pair of the Nike Shox Lethal. And I remember those came in a really nice box. It was a pull-out drawer type box. Really nice construction. And then the coolest thing to me was they came with this bag. And right up here it says individually designed. There's a little NIKEiD square. And then it's got this nice orange drawstring. It was just really something cool. You know, when I opened the box, it was the whole experience of opening it. It wasn't just the shoes themselves. So they've kind of gone away from that. And I understand, you know, NIKEiD's definitely gotten way more popular. But it's just, every time I order a pair, I kind of hope that it'll be something like what I used to see. But I'm very pleased with the shoes. So happy. So let's get right into a review, and I'll show you the colors, kind of everything that's going on with this pair. Here we go with an up-close view of the Nike LeBron 11 in my NIKEiD colorway. This, again, is a mix of orange blaze, court purple, black, and white. The upper of this shoe is described as being made of hyperposit, which is basically saying that it's a mix of foamposite material and then hyperfuse material. And so basically everywhere you see these black speckles, that is the foamposite, or it's also been called armorposite for these shoes. And then the rest of the main orange upper is where you see the hyperfuse. As you can see, the thing I like about hyperfuse is, you know, it's got different places where there's different amounts of material kind of for breathability, so it kind of creates some patterns. You can see like right there, there's just some open spots. Looking at the foamposite material, it actually comes in a matte colorway with my orange speckles, and I really like that it's matte and not glossy, which is how you typically think of foamposite material, because if that were glossy, that would definitely push this colorway a little over the edge, in my opinion. But the fact that it's matte keeps it a little more subdued, and you've got those hits of color, but it's not slapping you in the face. I also like you've got these breaks like right there and right there where you can get a sneak peek into the flywire of the shoe. The flywire that I use is court purple as well as the swoosh. Now we'll zoom in here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but there's a little bit of a pattern on the swoosh, which is kind of cool. There you go. You can kind of just see it. It just keeps it from being just one plain thing. I also really like the speckles and how that turned out. It actually, I feel like the online creator for these was not super representative of how they actually turned out. When I created these online, they're kind of hard to see almost, and it's like, are they, are they going to be that noticeable? But in real life, there's a lot more of them, and they're a little more prominent. There are a couple larger ones, and they really do a nice job of varying the size. I like the look a lot. It just adds a lot of pop. So like I said, we've got the hyperfuse for the upper, and then kind of wrapping around wherever you've got the armor posit, there's just kind of like this ribbon of synthetic material. You can see it kind of wrapping around down here, up over here, comes up here on the toe between the two sections of your foam posit material. If we look at the back, there's just a bit of your foam posit sitting right there. Coming to the front of the shoe and taking a look, let's get that focused in. I went with black laces, and the thing I really like about laces on the LeBron series is they're not just normal laces. These have the little gray dashes in them, which just adds something in the texture. And you feel them, they're actually kind of rough. They've got kind of like a texture. They're not just straight oval laces. I know in the past some of the pairs I've had will say like LeBron on one lace tip and James on the other, but for the NIKEiD version at least, it does not say that. I haven't actually looked closely enough at a regular release pair of the 11s to know if it has that or not. If we look at the inside of the shoe, fairly similar. There's no big swoosh here, so you can see more of the hyperfuse pattern. It also has a swoosh right here on the foam posit material. I went with white here just to kind of contrast the black. And it's cool because this design is kind of angular, and it can be hard to see with like the black, but when you look, you can see like there's a line there. There's a line there. You can really kind of see the angularness of it. And I really enjoy that. The tongue is orange mesh. And then coming up top, you've got this kind of padded, really detailed tongue, which I think looks really cool. It's pretty in these places where it kind of sticks out. It's pretty well padded. You've got your LeBron logo. That's in the same kind of almost plasticky purple material as the swoosh, so it's got that same pattern going on. You've got this little ribbon up top that goes around to the back, and so it comes down to this little orange trapezoid, and then I got my ID. It says Reese K in white. That's what I used to do on all my old IDs when I was growing up, so I just kind of wanted to do that again. Got my court purple lining, and if we look inside, then there is a black insole, and it says NIKEiD in white. So I think that about does it for the upper part of the shoe. If we look at the outsole then, I got the clear outsole, so you've got the clear sections here, and here they've got kind of a hex traction pattern going on. You've got these cracks in here for movement in the front and the back. There's kind of a black and gray pattern in there. You've got this piece right here in orange with LeBron's signature. And then if we look right here, I don't think the camera's going to pick this up, but right here, this is on the right shoe, it says James, just in the outsole part. And on the left shoe, then it says LeBron on the outside. One last detail I forgot about the upper is that we have the Flywire text right there. You'll see that on almost every shoe that has Flywire, just a little blurb somewhere that lets you know, hey, this shoe is equipped with technology, yay. But so all in all, like I said, it's a really, really fun shoe. It's definitely, like I said, it's not a colorway for everyone, but I really personally enjoy it. I enjoy the pop, and I think it does a good job of showing what the LeBron 11 is capable of and kind of highlighting the different materials and everything that's going on. So yeah, thanks for checking this out, guys. Let me know what you think of this pair. Let me know if you've designed your own pair, if you have any thoughts on anything cool that you want to do with NIKEiD, because I just love the way that it allowed me to kind of take this design that I really liked and make it my own in terms of colorway. I was really excited about that. The results were great. Build quality, I have absolutely no complaints. Shoes turned out great. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch this, guys. Thank you, and have a great day.